Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. It is so happy to have you here. And today we are talking with the Campbells. So they are here joining us again for part 2 of our 3-part series. And I am so happy that you have stuck around to hear their story. Again, if you are new, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. To all my returning lovelies, thank you so much for continuing on this journey with me. So I will get right into this. So please, again, introduce yourself to our audience so that they would know who they're listening to, actually, and why we're here today.
Okay, hi everyone. Hi again. I am Nyoka Kelly-Campbell, and this is my husband.
Hey guys, how are you? Reggie Campbell.
Thank you guys so much. So I know in our last video, you shared with us, Nyoka, a condition that you have been living with and you knew about or haven't been experienced with since you were 11 years old, and that is MRKH. If you don't mind, can you please just give a little bit of a background about what that is so that our audience can be caught up in case they didn't see your first video?
Sure. So MRKH, that's the acronym for Mayer-Rokitansky-Kuster-Hauser-syndrome. These are the 4 doctors that diagnose this syndrome. So 1 in 5,000 women have this rare disease. And it's basically a disease that females go through that have underdeveloped reproductive system. So it could be no cervix, no upper vagina or no vagina at all, no uterus or a small uterus. Yeah, so basically an underdeveloped reproductive system.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And to be specific, Nyoka, for you, what exactly are you diagnosed with?
So there are 2 specific types. At first, I thought I was diagnosed with type 1, which is just, just having that underdeveloped reproductive system. I currently have no cervix, I have no upper vagina, and my uterus is very small. But I recently did an ultrasound, not an ultrasound, an MRI that shows that I have a malrotated kidney, and that has to do with a type 2. So I'm kind of lying close to type 2, but I won't really get a sense or understanding of which type I am until I see my doctor on my next visit.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us again. I know in the first video you share about your, emotional experience living with MRKH, but right now I know that you are married to this lovely, handsome man, Mr. Reggie, and I would just like for you guys to share with our audience, how did you guys meet?
Yeah, many moons ago, back in Jamaica, we basically grew up together in church. And it was kind of one of those fairy tale situations, love at first sight, boy meets girl. However, through our, I guess, developmental stage, we, grew apart. She went to college, I went to work. And then many years after the fact, this is when we were about, what, like 11 years old.
Wow.
Going to church. And then a few years later, a good friend of mine, church friend of mine, passed away. And at this point, I stopped sort of being a regular at church, let's say. And his passing sort of brought us together because we both ended up at his parents' house for a gathering in honor of our falling church member. And it sort of, rekindled the
spark.
The spark. Love at first sight, right?
rekindled it from there. And then we basically, kept in communication for some time.
Yeah.
We then moved off again because I moved to Kingston, which is the city part of Jamaica. I was working for a while and reconnected again with her while she was studying here in the US. And from that point on, we basically stuck together, long distance relationship, but we made it work. Subsequently, I came to college here in the US, and that's when, we really said, you know what, this is it. before
Can't
coming
get
out.
away from each other. It appears that you can't.
It's funny, like when I bought her engagement ring on a job assignment when I went to Barbados when I was working for CVM, and I
That's
was
a
like, oh,
Jamaican TV station.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, the Jamaican TV station, and yeah, I was like, when I went to the jewelry store with the producer that I was working with, I was saying to myself, wow, I'm really gonna do this, huh?
You're gonna be locked in.
I'm really gonna do this. But I went ahead and got it. And then when I got over here, sometime after that, I popped the question and, took it from there.
She said yes.
I said yes.
I can't remember. I'm sure she
Really?
I'm pretty sure she said yes. Okay, thank you so much for taking us down memory lane. That's a beautiful story. You guys are definitely meant to be. There's no escaping that. So thank you so much for that. Reggie, if you may, when did you find out, or Nyoka, when did you decide to let Reggie know about the condition that you've been living with? And how was it? How did he take it?
To be honest, I really can't remember when he found out about my situation.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those things where we sat down and had a discussion
Right.
About it. But it certainly was something that came up through the process of our courtship, let's say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And questions began to arise. So I would basically put it at some point when we were living in the US.
Okay.
Be on the safe side. And for me, realizing that fact, I was in a bit of denial, like just seriously in denial over the whole reality.
So you didn't believe it?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it's not. I don't know. Yeah, okay. I guess you could say in non-belief, but I just say living in denial of what the reality and ramifications of this, because, like, we all know, being from a Caribbean background, it's sort of a cultural expectation that you should have a bunch of kids, as many as you can,
Right.
so they can come back and take care of you when you're old. That's the
Caribbean thing.
That's the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So, that sort of reality came to head after we got married, and you start hearing the people asking, oh, so when's the kid? My parents are asking, and so on and so forth, and at that point it's like, okay, so this is the reality. So how do we, is it an impossibility, or is there any options? So this was a conversation that we eventually got around to having. How do we proceed from this point now that we know this is the current reality? And when we realized that, okay, the natural, what they call natural way, right? 9 months conception, and the female has a child. That's not possible. So we learned about, surrogacy option. So we started to research and try to figure out, what are the steps that are needed to be taken in order to achieve a family using the surrogacy method. So that part of it was a whole other chapter.
I can only imagine. Yeah.
It's not cheap. It's not a walk in the park, and it's a lot of moving parts, for lack of a better term, that goes into having a surrogacy pregnancy.
Yes. And I know, thank you for that. And I know that we will definitely talk about that process in a little while. But I also, it's very evident. You guys are a lovely couple, and I'm blessed to know you guys. And the thing about it is, it's the first time I'm hearing about your journey, and I feel like I can listen to it for forever. Like, it's like a love story, and it's wonderful, and definitely commendable. And it's only natural that the next step is to enhance your family with a child. And so I wanted to find out from you, how has it been once you guys are still together, you're flourishing, you're thriving in your marriage, but the MRKH has basically robbed you of something that you both desire to have, and that's a child. So how has it been for you as a married couple? How has it been? What are the other challenges that you both face, knowing that this is a condition that is not going away? What are some of the challenges that you face together?
I mean, if I was to say challenges, it would just be on a emotional level. My wife, Nyoka, is a very loving individual. She would make an amazing mother. Of this, I'm sure.
Awesome.
So when she watches other folks with their families, with their children, that tugs at me, because I desire her to have.
Do you want her to have that?
Yes, I desire to have her have that level of happiness. So on the emotional level, that's where the challenges arise. Other than that, it's a walk in the park. Not really, but we try to make it work as best as we can.
Yes.
And in realizing that, you know what, we're in this together. You know, she's not alone. You know, I remind myself that evening when I went to her father's house and I had a conversation before I proposed to her, I had a conversation with her father. And, you know, basically I decided to take up where he left off, take care of his daughter.
His baby.
So you know, I just have to remind myself that, you know, I'm doing something that is not just for me, right? I'm holding a very precious human being with me.
Jewel. Yes.
On the journey of life. So, you know, you just have to remind myself of these, you know, positive things and have positive affirmations in my mind as well.
Absolutely.
When things occur, such as you look at the calendar and you see the clock ticking, right? So that, well, you have this much time to do this thing that you want to do, which is having a family, an extended family.
Yeah.
You just have to, you know, be strong, have faith, and, you know, put God first.
Put God first. Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
Nyoka, is there anything you'd like to add or share?
Yeah, not to get too deep physically. I mean, for me, it has been a bit challenging because as you've already known that it has to do with, MRKH has to do with an underdeveloped reproductive system. So given the fact that I have no cervix and no upper vagina, not to get too deep, at times, sex can be painful at times. So, and that's a challenge for me, you know. It's a challenge for both of us, you know, so yeah.
I mean, I know this is a very intimate question, and it may be hard to answer, but it's having a deeper understanding of what this condition is and how it really affects a person as a whole, because many people who are watching may have similar symptoms and not know that it can be attributed to this, and now would be able to say, you know what, maybe I can go get this checked out because this has been happening to me. And I just didn't know what it was. So I'm definitely grateful that you were able to share this part of your story. I understand that it may not be easy. And I just want to let you guys know that I definitely commend you guys so much for being brave and just letting the world know about something that you've been dealing with in silence, because I can understand it's not easy. You know, Reggie, for you as the male figure in the household, it's only natural. Can you speak a little bit to that degree where, as a man, I know you talk very highly of supporting your lovely wife, and she is blessed to have you. But as a man, when you think of yourself, if you can speak to another man who is going through similar situation, you know, how do you help with the challenges that you have, the emotions that you go through, knowing that your wife is dealing with this condition?
I mean, what I would say to any other individual, male or otherwise, that's going through a similar situation with their partner, I would say you have to go back and think about the reason you're with the person in the first place.
Absolutely.
If it was just for reproduction, then obviously there's going to be an issue, and you'd have to, come to grips with the reality and move on. As opposed to if you're with a person for love,
yes,
respect, right? Then it's a different set of criteria that you have to then fulfill, right? So for me, it's a little bit beyond just reproduction. Yes, it would be great. Yes, I want kids. I've wanted kids since I was probably 25 or so, right? Because I'm working the math. My dad had got me with my mom, his wife, when he was 45. My dad's 84 today. I didn't want to be that old and having a 1-year-old or so running around.
Right.
So my thought to that individual, that man, as you put it, that's with his wife that's battling this sort of an issue, is you have to come to grips with what it is. You have to come to grips with the reality of it, as hard as that may be. It's a daily, it's never a point that you get to and you say, oh yeah, I feel good now, right? It's an ongoing struggle. It's an ongoing challenge that one has to deal with. But if love is at the core of your relationship, then that is the enduring fiber that will hold you together. And then together, you guys might be able to find a solution to getting to that place. Yeah. And I personally hold on to that hope that both of us together, doing the research, doing things like this, where we're getting the word out, will get us closer to achieving that ultimate goal that to some people might just be, boop, 9 months and they're good to go. For us, not so easy.
Right.
But, I have the faith that we will get there.
Yeah.
One day I'll have my little son or daughter, rocking my hands, playing my gray hairs, and that's the hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And that's all we can hold on to sometime. It's that hope and that belief that one day, and through this process, my hope is also that, others would see your story and will be able to assist you in any way, shape, or form. I definitely thank you guys both for sharing your story and for letting others know about MRKH or MRKH. Yes. The name is very long, so I don't want to, mess it up. But thank you guys so much again. And I really, really hope that your story will definitely inspire. You guys have both inspired me. And I found new love and appreciation and just for both of you, and admiration for both of you and your courage to share this journey with us. So guys, I thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us here again today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.